Okay, another day, another cartoon. This time my risible attempts to draw a Theresa May cartoon. I watched the House of Commons yesterday. I watched the coverage of the European arrest warrant debate, and I realised I hadn't attempted a Theresa May cartoon in a long time, so it's about time I had a crack at that face, which you would think would be easy to draw, but I always struggle. Not quite sure why I struggle, except she has a very strange, peculiar gaze. You would think she's either cross-eyed or has a lazy eye or something, but when you see her on TV being interviewed, her eyes seem to be focused not on the camera, but beyond the camera, to the side of the camera. It's you see, I've just moved the left eyeball slightly to the right, and I think immediately it begins to look a little bit more like her. I've got a long way to go here, though. But yeah, I thought it's about time I tried to do a Theresa May cartoon and try to reflect my opinions of what happened in Parliament yesterday. We seem to be run by, well, I was going to say we were run by a bunch of mental but I'm not sure I can use the word anymore. I was watching Room 101, an old episode of Room 101 with Rich Hall, and he was talking about and every time they said the word the BBC bleeped it out, so apparently is no longer an acceptable word, unless perhaps it's used in the context of midget gems or midget submarines, or, well, I think mental midgets as well. Yeah, so this is my cartoon, Theresa May. It's about the European arrest warrant. It did originally have a subtitle, but I think the cartoon ended up having too much text, so I took the subtitle out. It's going to be something like Theresa regretted her youthful indiscretion when the Greek authorities finally caught up with her and brought her to book about her naked lobster dance. It was something like that, probably not as long-winded as that. But it had too much text, and I don't really like cartoons which have too much text. I know I tend to do too much text because I like writing the text of cartoons, but I don't really like cartoons that rely on the text. There was one by Chris Riddell on The Observer over the weekend, which was two creatures, one representing Cameron's problems and one representing Miliband's problems, and to prove or to demonstrate the fact he actually had written on the side of the characters Miliband's leadership's problems and Cameron's European problems. And I don't really like cartoons like that. There's a long tradition of them, stretching back a long time, of these cartoons where there are labels attached to objects where you've then meant to interpret the scene in relationship to those objects, and not really a fan of those. I prefer cartoons where they put politicians in strange places. It's why Peter Brooks is my favourite political cartoonist of the moment. I think he's brilliant at caricatures, but he's also a brilliant gag cartoonist. Martin Wilson's good, but he's not really a gag cartoonist. I don't consider him a gag cartoonist. I think he tends to have more pointed cartoons. His cartoons make a more serious point, often quite hard hitting point. But I wouldn't say his cartoons make me laugh out loud. Peter Brooks regularly makes me laugh out loud, but he does the perfect combination of a great gag and making a serious point, which is ideally what I think political cartoons need to do. The Guardian actually at the moment just seems to have some terrible cartoonists. There's one called First Dog on the Moon who I just can't fathom the cartoons. They're just beyond me. I don't find them funny. I don't understand why they're so badly drawn. I don't understand why there's so much bland, pointless text to them. There's no humour. There's no. I just don't understand them. I think it's probably my problem because people seem to love it over there, and I just leaves me cold. But quite a few cartoonists these days leave me quite cold. There's one in Private Eye who there's a team of 2 or 3 of them called modern something or other. That's how much I'm take an interest in them. I just pass over them. I think they're horrifically bad, unfunny cartoons. But I shouldn't be bad-mouthing cartoonists, but there's such a wide range of qualities. There's some great ones and there's some truly awful ones. But yeah, so Peter Brooks is probably the person I think of as the best political cartoonist. If the video lags like it seems to have done now, it's because I recorded this last night and I was probably distracted by the TV or something while I was working on it. It is sped up 800 times, so even though it lasts 7 minutes, the video, it probably took a hell of a lot longer than that to draw this. Yeah, I'm drawing these legs differently of these characters in the background. I didn't want to get hung up on them, but in the end, actually, I think they're the part of the cartoon I like the best, because even though they're odd looking, they fit the cartoon quite well. I've done about 7 or 8 cartoons with those style of legs, and I think I'm going to carry on. I used to draw legs quite realistically, quite fat, proper trousers. I like cartoonists like Honeysett in Private Eye, who is a bit like Clibbin. He does these big, fat, slightly misshaped, misproportioned characters. I quite like that, but I don't have the misproportioned sense of it, and I think they just came out looking too realistic. Whereas drawing the legs like I've drawn them on these two characters, actually, I think they work quite well and they're quite quick to draw. So I'm going to persevere with this. I think I'm almost finished. I think I've got one more thing to do, and that's to fix her teeth, because she has quite peculiar teeth. I think I got stuck on her teeth. I think I actually, if I remember correctly, I think I import an image of her teeth and then fix them based on that. Yeah, here we go. I quite like drawing teeth. Teeth on a black background. I like drawing lower teeth. When I first discovered I could just wipe out a bit of the black and create a sense of teeth, I was really excited by that, and every cartoon I did for weeks after had these sort of sets of teeth. Yeah, I've made the teeth, pinch them in a little bit, make them a little bit more incisive. Yeah, it's not my best cartoon, and I'm just trying to get back into it and do these. It's partly why I'm recording these videos. It's a sense of my talking to myself, future self, so I know where I was on the 11th of the 11th in 2014, hopefully drawing a not too bad Theresa May cartoon.